Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you for coming by. If you remember last week's video, we ended it looking at the suspension on this car, and I just couldn't figure it out. I checked all the torque specs, stuff looked good, but it's still riding like crap. The rear end looks like it's slanted a little bit, so I've got an appointment for an alignment and the coilovers check at MXPI Tuning. So that's the same place that I looked at the Audi when I had some oil issues. I built up a pretty good relationship with them. I love it over there. So if you guys are in the northwest suburbs of Chicago area, check out MXPI Tuning. They're super cool guys. Sometimes I just go in there and talk to them about my projects, talk to them about what's going on, because they're super knowledgeable, and you don't even need to have an appointment, dude. You can just show up and start talking to them. Of course, if you're going to get work done, they'll get you on the schedule. But first things first, I'm going to get it started up, see how it idles. It's like 40 degrees right now, so it might not do too hot, but it's got to get over there regardless. And on the way over, since I'm super embarrassed about it, I'm going to run it through a car wash, because that's just unacceptable. I got like a leopard print going on right now with all the dust, because I had this car out when it was raining, so they put a bunch of dots on the dust. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to strap the GoPro up to my face, get some driving for you guys. First driving in 2025, so super excited. Let's get this thing going. I'm on the GoPro now, and yes, I know there is a little smudge, it looks like, or a couple of them, yeah. Depending on how you look at it, they're not smudges. It's actually like scratches on my lens from when we were working underneath the car and dropping shit all over it. So I'm kind of upset. This was like a $150 lens. This is the GoPro Max lens, so I guess I'm just gonna get another one and get a regular lens as well for when we're working under the car. This Max lens should really be only for POV stuff, because as you can see, it's nice and wide. I really like that. You can see like the gear shift down here. You can see everything out here. And that's why I switched to this camera instead of using this one, because this one, you guys don't know, but when I used to film with this one, POV, I would have it like way back here. And that's really hard to do when you're shifting manual as well. So yeah, really glad I have this Max lens, but not so glad that it got all scratched up. So yeah, trust me, it's not the smudge. I clean it all the time. It's just scratched. So yep, just gonna let it warm up here, and then we'll get out. I'm not gonna record until like I get on the road, because just driving around here is kind of boring, of course. So bad news. I said I probably wouldn't make it. I made it like 2 minutes down the road, and I don't even want to start it up right now because I'm scared. So basically, I pulled out onto the main road, and I went to give it a little bit of gas. I wasn't doing like a pull or anything, and it just like cut all my power. I had like no power. So I let off the gas, and it was like, so that's that misfire I think I was talking about. It just got like a full-on misfire. So I'm gonna try and limp this thing back to the house. I'm not very far. I just don't know if I'm gonna do any damage to the engine while doing so. Not that I care that much. I mean, I was talking about a swap, but really I was hoping that this engine would last me like at least a decent amount into the summer, so I can send it off the proper way. But the way I see it now is there's no sending it. I'm on like 5 or 6 cylinders right now from what it sounded like, and I mean, maybe I can fix it up and then do a proper send-off for you guys on camera. Let me make a few phone calls, figure out if I can start it up, or if I'd be better off just kind of getting it towed home. If I do end up starting it up, obviously I'll turn on the camera and show you guys what I'm talking about, because it's bad, dude. So I pulled into this gas station and let it idle for a second, and it went to 700, and then it went to 500, went to 300 RPM, and then it died out. So not in a good spot. I'll be right back. All right, here goes nothing. Not bad from idle. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Not doing it anymore. I wonder what that was, man. what to tell you. I really wish I had this GoPro in my mouth when it happened. Oh, I have no gauge. I mean, the needles are there, but I have no numbers. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm gonna... Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, there was the grinding. You know, it could be my transmission then. What the fuck? Hold on, let me back it in and see what it sounds like. Dude, I don't know, like, was I worried about nothing? Like, it just made it back home fine. Let's get the hood popped and see what we're looking at here. I could have just been tripping, man. It sounded bad, though. It's definitely shaking a lot. Hold on, let me get the main camera. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's bad. I'm gonna FaceTime Nick too. Yeah, now it's bad. It's not as bad as it was. Oh yeah, it's shaking. Oh, 1 sec. Definitely not super bad coming here. Actually sounds pretty normal. But the way that the engine is shaking, I don't even know if you guys can see that. And especially the sound from exhaust is one time. Like that rough click every now and then, that's definitely a misfire. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go grab my code reader from inside and see what we got going on. And I do want to mention, guys, if it was just sounding like that, I probably would have kept going. It sounded a lot worse, like way worse. And like when you put your foot down on the pedal, I almost had no power. So yeah, I don't know. That kind of upset me a little bit that it sounded horrible when I wasn't recording, and then when I started it back up, it was fine. But really, better safe than sorry. So 1 second here, let's see what the codes are. All right, here we go. 1 engine code found. I hope it tells me what it is. It just says system 2 lean, bank 1. Under the predicted repairs section, 44% probability I need to replace ignition coils and spark plugs. So yeah, I'd say it's a little bit more than 44%. I'd say like 99% need to replace ignition coils to spark plugs. Oh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, regardless of what's going on, this engine is not reliable anymore. Is that like that click? Alright, it's gonna scan it again. Yeah, that pop slash click that I'm getting every now and then. Just listening. Here. Yep. There it goes. That's what it was doing. Bro. There it is. There's the misfire. Yep. There's the misfire. 100%. 100% a misfire. If you guys are wondering, dude, my whole... okay, the whole car is shaking. Okay. Wow. That makes a lot more sense now. So, shut up. I'm trying to talk to the camera. So what you can do if you're like trying to figure this out is you can start pulling your coil packs one by one while it's running like that and seeing if it changes at all when you pull them. Because if it doesn't change at all, then you know it's that coil pack. if it does change, then you know that that coil pack's working fine, because without power it's running more rough, and when you plug it back in it fixes it, then you know that that coil pack's fine. But if unplugging it and plugging it back in makes no difference, then you know it's that coil pack that's going bad, or spark plug. My case, I don't really care. I'll probably just buy all new coils and all new spark plugs just to be safe, because I do want this engine to run for a little bit longer, especially right now, because the whole reason that I'm doing this, the alignment and everything, is because I'm going to be dropping that car off. By the way, I did get confirmed for an appointment, so that'll be the next video that you guys see, is this car getting wrapped. But while it's getting wrapped, I want him to drive this. But if it's going to be doing this, I don't know. So it sounds like I have a really tight time frame now. I'm going to have to run the coil pack and spark plug change like ASAP. So that way, hopefully we can figure out if this car is stable to drive for a couple of days. Alright guys, it's time to see if we're going to be able to fix this engine or not. So I went to Advance Auto earlier today, picked up some stuff, spent almost $500, so right away. If you guys could like this video and subscribe to the channel, if you're not, that would help me out a lot. I am spending all my money on this channel. I want to take this to the next level. Let's get it. So I got some high mileage seafoam. Some people swear by this stuff, especially some 4.6 guys that I was seeing on Mustang forums. So I'm going to dump the whole can of this thing in the gas tank right now. Since it said it was too lean and it was kind of sputtering out, I wonder if the injectors are just clogged and it's preventing fuel from getting into the cylinders. So that could be the issue. So I'm going to add that in right now before we do the coils and the spark plugs, to give it a chance to kind of settle in there and mix. Versus if we did the coil packs and the spark plugs first and then added this in and then started it up, all this stuff would be sitting on the top of the tank. So obviously I'm thinking ahead. I'm going to add it in right now again, so it gets it nice and mixed, at least as mixed as it can. So then I went ahead and got these, just whatever they had, man. I'm replacing all 8 spark plugs and all 8 coil packs. It could only be like 1 or 2 of them that I need to replace, but let's say I replace those, and then a couple months down the line, the other ones need to be replaced. So I got 4 and 4, and I got 8 coil packs. These were the expensive part, but looking about $80 for, actually probably like $90 for 8 spark plugs, and then like this was like $360 or something like that. So yeah, let's start off with the seafoam though. So for those of you who don't know, this is basically just a fuel system cleaner and stabilizer. Especially because the gas that's in here has been sitting all winter. You could just basically read it. Obviously works in fuel or oil. I'm going to use it in fuel in this case. It cleans the fuel injectors and the carb jets, obviously engine wear, and should really help with the idle on top of the spark plugs and coil packs. I think my idle should be perfect after this. And if it's not, then we got a bigger issue going on. Maybe a head gasket, or maybe just something simple like a faulty ground. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna get a funnel for this so I don't miss. And also remember, the fuel likes to come back up, so I'm gonna pour this nice and slow. I'm gonna pay attention. Oof, I always got to do a smell test, you know me. This stuff smells like carb cleaner, honestly, so it's probably about the same stuff. But yeah, this is how slow I'm pouring this in here. If you guys have a normal functioning fuel system, you can just dump it in there, but I don't, and I don't want to waste any of this stuff, so I'm just gonna kind of let it drip in there a little bit. And yeah, it's nice and clear. It literally smells identical to like a brake clean or a carb cleaner of some sort, so it's gonna do some good stuff for the inside of the motor, hopefully. There we go. Alright, so that's gonna sit and mix while we're doing the rest of the job here. So I'll just leave it like that. This thing is filthy, dude. I just can't get over to the car wash. I've tried twice now. First time I couldn't because of the suspension was wobbly, and second time because of the motor that happened earlier on in this video. So yeah, I will be taking it over there when I get the chance. Actually, maybe tonight if this thing gets running perfectly. So that's the goal. But yeah, it is filthy, like horrible. So under here, I did check the oil. The oil looks healthy. It looks golden. We actually replaced it like 6 months ago on the channel, so oil looks good. It's a little bit overfilled compared to where that line is. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure if that's an issue either. If it is, then I'll empty it, but I don't think so. Well, not empty it, just let a little bit out. Coolant though is a little bit low. If you guys see I can't really put it at a good angle, but this is the add line right here where my finger is above that black text, and this is where the coolant is. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is add when cold or add when hot, but I'm going to assume it's add when cold, so I'm missing quite a bit of coolant in there, so when we finish up, I'm going to top that off too. So just a couple of things I found while poking around in here. I got the mid-section of the intake pulled out, and it actually looks very new, so whoever had this car before me got this done. And I don't know if they did it themselves or what, but whoever it was, I mean, like, that, the MAF sensor basically fell right out. I mean, I don't even know if there's a filter on the end of this thing, because it's like, I can't really see it, but you can pull it in and out. This whole mounting plate is loose. These bolts aren't all the way down. There's probably a whole lot more on this car that I'm not noticing either. Like I said, the MAF sensor, I'll show you when I put it back in. It just kind of like sits in there, wobbles in there. And this is your mass airflow sensor, which controls your idle as well. So it sends a reading to your ECU and tells it how to compensate. If this thing's not reading right, your engine's not going to compensate right, also affecting the idle. So there's like a million things wrong here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this in some like padded tape to hopefully like kind of pressure fit it in there. I don't really know if that's going to help. And then when I'm done, I'm going to have to figure out why this is so. Because what was interesting is, again, another reason maybe that the idle was so rough is that this pipe basically just fell out of here. Like, it looked like it was all good. Let me tuck this. Come here. Tuck it in there so it doesn't go anywhere. It looked like it was good, but if you run your hand underneath, it was like there was a hole here, or like, because the pipe was going in at such an angle. So that's why this needs to be solid. And I might take all this apart and figure out why it's not solid. And just another thing, they probably had to take off the bumper to install that. And look at how they installed the bumper. Like, is that for airflow? I don't think so, because it's not even on the rails there. As you can see this side, that's nice and tight. That's how it should be. Maybe, yeah, it's not on the rails there either. So I'm not actually. It's probably not even worth messing with, because I'm gonna get a new front bumper on this car pretty soon. So, as well as some new taillights. I want to get the chrome stripes and LED lights. I don't like yellow lights. I like white lights. Let's be honest. It's 2025. So yeah, I got these back to the coil packs. I got these undone. I need to go find a socket or something for that rusty bolt that I'm zooming in on. Oh, come on. I like how it gets unfocused as I zoom in more. Like, there's less for you to focus on. Just focus on the one thing. Alright, I still don't understand cameras that much, but that looks like maybe an 8mm or a 6mm. I actually have an 8 with me on my screwdriver. Nope, it's a 6. Okay, wow. What? Those are tiny. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to undo all 4 of those, take them out, and I'll turn on the camera so we can look in there and see what we're dealing with. Alright, so a little update before I go in to eat. Got all the coil packs pulled out, all 8 of them, and 2 of the spark plugs. So, this one is going to be really hard to get to because my extension coincides with this guy right here, this cross member. So either A, I'm going to have to remove that, but before I do, I'm going to try using a shorter extension to see if I can get that spark plug. I was able to get this one right here. It's so dark. When I come back out here, I'm going to set up a light under here, but I was able to get that one because it sticks up like right in the middle of here perfectly. This one right here is going to be hard to get out without removing the throttle body. Again, first I'm going to try using a shorter extension. And then the back one I was able to get by slipping the extension behind the cross brace and in between these hoses here. So I was able to get those two. And this one I think is ready to come out right now before I turn on the camera. Yep. So that's the beauty of having these spark plug sockets, is there's a rubber boot in the bottom of it and it holds onto the spark plug for you. Alright, so that's pretty cool. I'm just inspecting the spark plugs a little bit to see what's going on in there. The tips are a little black, like at the end of the threads there, that's normal. The top is like white though. I'm not sure what that's from, so while I'm inside I'm going to do a little bit of research. This one's not that bad, but these two were, especially, yeah, this one, see the top is white. It's like a white powder on there. I'm not sure what that's from. These spark plugs do look fairly new. Not really sure how new, but I'm assuming that they replaced them with the coil packs, which also look new. So judging by the fact that they were recently replaced, and I already have a misfire, I think there's something else going on with this car, and it could be the injectors. These look kind of new too, though, so I don't know, man. I really don't. Again, this is just to keep it going for the summer. I want to basically tear this engine to the ground this summer, doing some burnouts and stuff like that, so obviously I'm not going to be able to do that with misfire. I do want to maybe try and blow it up on camera later this summer. I really just have to get the engine swap and everything going for that before I decide to do that, but that's the original plan. So I should be able to get this one pretty easily. You can see the spark plug chilling down in there. Oh, I can. You can't. Even this one might be able to, but I think it's going to hit the fuel rail here, depending on where that extension comes out to. And then the last one should be pretty easy too. You can see I pretty much just slip it right down in there. So I'm gonna go recharge my batteries a little bit and hit this nice and strong in about half an hour. So let's see. All right, a little setup upgrade. How do we like it? Oh shit, that's bright. I think it's a whole lot better. Good investment right here. I hit up my boy Victor again for some Milwaukee deals. Hooking me up, dude. But yeah, pretty much in the same spot here. I just got back from dinner. I just figured I'd say, I mean, this is kind of how I do stuff is, you know, you start with what you can do, and we hit a little blockage here where we can't get these spark plugs. So I'm going to move on to the stuff that we can do still, because this is kind of a key to staying objective driven. You know, this is how I do things is, you know, you do what you can do, and stuff that you can't do, you come back later, because by that time you're going to be so invested that you can't stop, so you have to keep going. And it keeps the motivation up. So yeah, I'm pretty much just should be able to take all 4 of these out on this side, and then I'll have to figure out something on those other 2. So see how it goes. Alright, so I got all 4 of them taken out on the right side, and interestingly enough, cylinders 5 right there and 1, which is right next to 5. So cylinder 1 and cylinder 5, and kind of honestly on cylinder 3 there in the back. These spark plugs are very wet, especially the middle 2. I smelled it. It's pretty much like fuel. You can see it all over there and really gunked up around the threads. It smells like gasoline. So I think that's where our issue is coming from, honestly, was this side here. So I'm not going to know, honestly, until I take the other 2 out, which sucks because those are going to be harder. But I'm just going to get this side wrapped up, just going along with the same theme of what I was just talking about. Just get the easy stuff out of the way first, and he'll be that much more motivated to do the hard stuff. So let me get the first 4 spark plugs unwrapped here, and I'll gap them up. Alright, so spark plugs right here. Have my gapping tool right here. You can get these for like a couple dollars at any auto store, and it goes from thin to thick on this side, and it increases as you go down the coin. Gap spec on these is 0.054. This varies depending on your car's modifications. I'm just going to go with the stock specs because it's pretty much close to stock, 0.054. So I am going to find 0.054 on here, which is going to be 4 lines after 0.050. So 0.50, I'm going to go 4 lines over. Basically, we're just going to put this guy in here. It's really hard for me to do behind the camera, that's why I'm only doing 1. And wiggle it over a little bit. Looks like we're right at 0.050. Alright, yeah, it doesn't go any further than that. So what I'm going to do, you want to be very careful when you do this because you don't want to bend anything. You don't want to force anything either. So it's kind of like, take it like that and probably up a little bit. So I'm pulling down with these fingers. And looks like I'm at 0.051 now, 0.052, so I'm going to do a little tiny bit more. Focus, will ya? There we go. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Okay. So let's try it again. I don't want to gap it too much. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. That's like technically 0.053. So let me just give it a tiny little push. Okay. Now let's slide it on. There we go. That might have been too much. Let's see where we're at. Just before 0.050 there, that like middle line. So I'm happy with that. I might slip it off if I can. Yeah, since that was so hard to get off of 0.055, I'm going to call that 0.054. So I'm going to do that for all the other ones. Technically the spec is 0.052 to 0.056. So anywhere in that range I think will be pretty golden, but we want to try our best to get in the middle. And yeah, I'm going to throw this guy in, and I'm going to do that for the other 7 of them. Okay, got all 4 of the driver's side spark plugs in. There's 1, there's 2, and 3, and 4. You just have to trust me that it's there. It's really dark. I did run into an issue when I was putting these in. My spark plug boot inside the socket decided to stay on the spark plugs. So what I had to do is, you can't take that boot off because then you're just going to be dropping the spark plugs in there. You still want the spark plug to be seated in the socket, so you can kind of just drop it in there like controlled. You don't want it to just fall in. So I still had to do that, but once I got them like a couple threads in, I pulled it back out, and I wasn't putting enough pressure to where the boot was staying on there. Then I pulled the boot out of the socket in order to torque them all. So torque specs on these are 13 foot-pounds, so that's AKA hand tight. I'm not going to get a torque wrench off at 13 foot-pounds. That's ridiculous. Also, I don't have a 3/8 torque wrench. I only have the half. So yeah, hand tight it is. All that's left on this side is to drop the new coil packs in, secure the bolts down with my little 7mm over here, this guy, and connect the harness clips. Then we got to get started on this side again. This is a pretty important little step. You want to put a tiny bit of dielectric grease on the inside of the boot there. You don't want to put too much. You don't want the spring in here to be completely drenched in it, and you don't really need it on the outside. You just want a tiny bit, and it'll provide a good sealant from moisture in there and make it easier to pull it off if we ever do this. So I'm going to do it to all the other ones obviously, but let's get this guy seated down there. Okay, well, that's okay. So it looks like it has to go in like this. These front ones are the easiest. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, but I'm gonna do that. All of these on the right side, and the right side will be completely buckled up so I can tackle that side. Yo, real quick, I just want to say I fucking love whoever designed this car and this engine. I was complaining about not being able to get to this one because of my cross bracer. Nope, I can sneak it right behind it, and it's the perfect angle to get into the hole there. I was scraping up on this a little bit. This one I was really pissed off at because I was like, who would put a fuel rail here? But no, I was trying to get it from this side here, like where my finger is. It wasn't quite the right angle. You could actually slip, look at how perfect that is. You can slip it in like right on this side of the hose and on the left side of the fuel rail, and you can actually make contact with the spark plug. I am so psyched now. Let's go. That's the last spark plug I need to get out, and that means I can put all 4 of them back in using the same method and put the coil packs on. You know, everything I've been saying, I've been yapping about. This side's done. All the coil packs are in. Harness is plugged up. Bolts down. So I'm going to do the same thing over there. And we're going to be good for a start up here just in a couple seconds. For you guys, not for me. It's still going to be a couple of minutes for me. I'm just going to start it up without the intake on, just because in case anything is wrong and I need to look at it, I don't want to take apart the intake again. And we can see the throttle body actuating when we're giving it some revs. So let's go, guys. Holy shit, here we go. Moment of truth. Yo, it sounds good. Get the main Hopefully you guys can hear me right now. This shit's loud. I'm gonna hook everything back up underneath the motor, all the breathers, the intake manifold, everything like that, and then restart the car and see if it sounds just as healthy. It should sound more healthy, honestly. So 1 second here. All right, got all the intake piping ran again, tightened down better than last time. I have the mass airflow sensor actually secured in here. It was wobbling before. I used to get old hockey tape. It's got like a grip on the outside and it's kind of thick, so I wrapped it a few times and it's pretty stiff in there now. It's not gonna wiggle out. Gotta love hockey tape. And got the breathers on here and these clamps nice and tight. So let's go for startup number 2 and see if it likes being revved a little bit. And I'm not gonna rev it, I'm gonna like increase the RPM steadily. So let's see how it responds to that. I did it off camera when I was on FaceTime with Nick and it really did not want to rev. It was like actually bogging down in RPM. So yeah, let's do startup number 2. And yeah, I'm convinced all that blue smoke was the seafoam burning off, because it stopped about a minute or 2 after running. So, and I gotta get like white lights in here, or maybe I keep the yellow as like an OG feel, you know. All right, let's see. Clutch in. Okay, it really wrapped up when I did that. You know, I really love having the mufflers cut off and everything, because you can hear every little thing that happens. That's why I kind of threw around the idea of maybe I have a blown head gasket, because when you have a blown head gasket, so much oil escapes out into the exhaust and gets burned off. So did you guys hear that? I think I'm still having the same issue. It sounds healthier, but that pop is concerning. It's more and more the warmer it gets too. I don't know what that is. It's harder to hear from up here. It's really coming from the exhaust. I really don't know. Unless one of the injectors is just straight up bad. The code's still coming back too lean. So it means it's not getting enough fuel. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna try something. Now that it's pretty much full operating temperature, I'm gonna ramp up the idle a little bit. Better at the higher idle when I let off. Those pops, I don't know if that's normal or not. There's no no check engine light for misfire. It's just saying it's too lean. It recommends replacing an O2 sensor. I don't think I have any, so that could be why. You know, it honestly, it just might need a tune. But I don't know. I'm trying to decide if it's too late or not to go drive it. Oh yeah, that's. So I don't know if the camera truly picks up when I'm driving how loud this car actually is. It's smoking out the front. Hold on. Oh, that's coming from the radiator now. That is coming from the radiator 100%. It could have been why it was eating so much coolant. Also didn't kick on. Yeah, I see the fan sound running. Well, you know, I think there's nothing else I can do right now. At least I replaced those, and we won't have to worry about ignition or misfire for those reasons, actually, for the spark plug and coil pack. Jeez, dude. I hope the camera's picking up those noises, because that does not sound good. It sounds like it's gonna die. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me get him a few blips. Yeah, that's enough. It's like 9:30. It's too loud for that, or too late for that. Alright, y'all, I have no idea where this video is going at this point. I guess I'll end it off tomorrow, just driving it around and giving my final consensus on what the issue could be. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to depend on this car at all while the other car is getting wrapped. I guess worst comes to worst, I've got the Grom, I've got the yellow bike. I can send that for a few days. Hopefully the wrap won't take too long. But yeah, at this point I'm gonna full send it. I'm gonna do it regardless if this car's running or not. I'm gonna try and get off work a little bit earlier tomorrow to take this around town. It's not sounding healthy, man. Alright, well, I think I should kill it, so I will see you guys tomorrow. So in a couple seconds here, next clip. Guys, it sounds like it's going pretty good. The suspension is super bouncy still, and that was originally while I was driving it. I was trying to bring it to the alignment shop when I got that horrible misfire. So the misfire sounds like it's fixed. When I get the chance here, I'm going to beat on it a little bit, but I'm just heading over to the car wash. We're not going to make it all the way over to the suspension shop, plus I'm going to need another appointment, so it is what it is. Here, we got some railroad trash coming up. I gotta go real slow now. Dude, it actually sounds good. Holy shit. I'm trying to drive and work the camera at the same time. It actually sounds good, dude. Sounds healthy. Suspension is crazy though. Like, I'm going left and right and left and right, and any of the bumps that are soaking up on the right side, I'm almost bottoming out every time. I have to get used to the clutch again. I haven't drove a manual in so long. this is our first stop of the trip. Let me see if it wants to idle or not. It's idling pretty well, right at 800. And you guys can't even see that, huh? If you've been around for a while, this is a famous spot of mine right here. I'm gonna do a little pull under this bridge. Maybe not, we got a red light. No pull. So I just checked under the hood, everything looks good. Code hasn't reappeared yet, but that's normal. It should reappear after like 100 miles or so. It's running great. I don't have any worries, honestly. So I'm just gonna wait for a spot here to free up at the car wash and probably get some pictures after it's clean and head back over to the gym. Sounds like a plan. So just some stuff I'm thinking of to make it run a little bit better. Replace the mass sensor, because as we saw, it was kind of loose in there. I think that'll help a lot, as well as just a tune. I don't want to spend too much money on this engine. As I've been saying, I want to do the swap soon. But I think at least a tune and like getting the exhaust to come out the side, just a little custom fab work, I think would be all this engine really needs. I see like Bama tunes, B-A-M-A, about $300. Those are like the cheapest flash on tunes that I've been seeing. So honestly, not too bad. And then say maybe $150, $200 for the custom fab work on the exhaust. Not too bad. But yeah, I'm happy that I fixed the misfire, and it sounded healthy while I was driving, and I was hitting it on it a little bit too. So yeah, no complaints. See, I'm rocking the Gorilla Mind pre-workout. I actually love this stuff. This is the nitric, so it's non-stimulant. I already had a Monster this morning. This is just to help with pump, facilitation. Oh, I'm up. Go. Let's hope it stays idling the whole time. Off camera there, it was dipping down a little bit in the revs, but it stays alive. I guess I should move my stuff too, because if you guys were around last year, this window seal up there is leaking. So that's the thing with these old cars, man. There's just so many little things that it kind of becomes like a full-time job, just taking care of these things. I mean, obviously I haven't fixed it yet. It's one of those lower priority things, trying to address all the high priority stuff first. But this car will be nice one day, I know it. I want to get like a full black interior, at least black seats, and maybe a center console delete. I'm not a huge fan of the center console as it is, because of where the stick is. In the newer Mustangs, the stick is like back here, and you can kind of rest your elbow here. This kind of just gets in the way, honestly. I'd rather have the, like if you're trying to pull the gear back, I'd rather just have the elbow space, honestly. Cup holders are absolutely useless. Like, is that how they want me to drive? Like, even if it's back here, it's like, I don't even use them. I just keep them in the seat next to me. So I'm thinking about that. Full custom steering wheel, of course. And then this dash, I might keep gray like this, because this is black up here. This is all black. So really, there's a long way to go. I want to see if I can get some aluminum door cards. I don't like the plastic, just because of the sound. It's so wiggly, and yeah, just some aluminum or some sort of metal door cards I think would be sick in this car. And then of course, once we do the engine swap, I'm gonna delete like the AC and everything. This is gonna be a custom screen gauge where I can put my boost gauge when I'm running boost. I can put my AFRs, I can put pretty much everything or anything that I want here. There's a Holley system that replaces that, so since I am going to be going full Holley ECU on the engine swap, obviously I'm going to need that. And then I'm thinking about either getting a Cobra dash, or Holley makes a custom dash too, which I think would be cool, like gauges and all that. So yeah, this car's gonna be way different eventually. I really hope it's not like years and years down the line. I want this to be like a top project, you know, so that way I can get started on another project. But one thing at a time, you know. I'm trying to finish the Audi up. That's my main priority right now, because it's so close to being done, really. And then this car, obviously, there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of money that needs to be saved, and a lot of work to be done. So yeah, I'll get with you guys when I'm outside the car wash. We'll see how clean it actually made it. I contemplated just doing like the do-it-yourself one, just to clean up all the dust and get rid of everything for sure. But I am going to the gym after this. I'm running a kind of a time crunch. I do want to edit this video today too, so I'm just doing this one. I try to do in traffic to try to get people to move up. Just tap the gas a little bit. This car is so loud, dude. Damn, we're freaking. Alright, one sec, guys. Dude, are we not going? It's green. Do you guys see how I'm kicking this clutch, dude? When I'm trying to drive it hard, you literally have to kick it, dude. That's why I love old cars, man. Makes you feel like you're driving like a machine, you know, an actual muscle car. Nowadays it's too easy, man. I love having to throw it into gear with my right hand and having to kick the clutch with my left. It's one of my favorite things about this car is it's actually hard to drive. It feels like you're trying, you know, and it makes it feel more fun, you know. It's kind of slow, but it makes it more fun to drive for sure. This is pretty boring driving, not gonna lie. I really need to get this suspension fixed for you guys so I can take it on the highway, because I don't think I've actually been on the highway since I bought the car. I bought it from Milwaukee, so I drove it about an hour and a half back to Chicago, where I'm from. So that was like the only time that this car has ever been on the highway, and it was pretty sketchy. It had bad control arms and bad struts at the time. I replaced them with full BC Racing coilovers and BMR suspension parts, but now it just needs an alignment and it needs stuff to be adjusted because it's really soft. I think we just need to turn the dampening up on those coilovers. But damn, I guess it's Porsche day at my gym today. We got the Cayman Boxster right there, and we got this nice ass 911, I think. Damn, I like those wheels too. And here I am in my 99 GT. But I would definitely like having a Porsche one day. That'd be cool. Maybe like a, I mean, of course I gotta say like a GT3 RS, you know, but that's supercar money. So hopefully I get there. I'm trying, guys. But if I have the money for a GT3 RS, that's like R8 money. That's Audi R8. That's Huracan money, you know. So honestly though, a GT3 RS would be sick over those cars. I just love the way they look, especially the rear end with those wings. But yeah, guys, I am at the gym now, obviously, and I'm gonna get a good lift in. I'm doing upper body today, so just back, back, chest, biceps, tris, everything but legs. That's what I do. So I'll do an upper body day, a lower body day, and then I'll do like push, pull, legs. So that's 5 days a week. I hit legs twice a week and upper body 3 times a week. Yeah. So trying to get back to it. I mean, I went to the gym before, like years ago, and I got up to like maybe 145 pounds, which to a lot of you is like, what? But before that, I was probably like 120. Where when I graduated high school, I was like 5'5", 120. I was a small kid. I still am. But yeah, I'm back to it. I'm back to like 135 right now. I'm trying to be 150, 155. I think would be perfect because I'm like 5'7". So yeah, 5'7", 150. I think that's pretty solid. I've always been really lean. I want to stay that way. I want to keep seeing all the features, but be a little bit more ripped up top. And obviously my legs are tiny. I need these legs for the clutch kicking that I was talking about, right? So, all right, you guys. That'll be it for this video. I think the engine's fine. I really do. After I changed the coil packs and the spark plugs, I think we're good. But like I was saying at the car wash, I think a new MAF sensor and a tune would actually make this engine run perfect for what it is. I mean, it's almost 200,000 miles. I would like to get at least another year out of it. I could see that being perfect to carry me over for the engine swap. So I don't know. My original plan was to do the engine swap like now. I completely underestimated how much money that I would need in terms of a shop, the engine itself, the transmission, everything else. I'm gonna probably need like upwards of 20,000, and a lot of people would be like, you could have just bought a Terminator for that money. It's like, I didn't have 20,000 saved up, right? I only had like 8,000 saved up, and that was enough to cover this car and getting it registered and some other small things. So I think this is the perfect this is still a perfect project for me. It's just honestly taking a lot longer than expected, and I'm learning a lot along the way about how to budget yourself and how to like set down a plan and actually execute that plan. So first things first though, we got to get the Audi finished up. I got wheels, tires, lowering springs, and then just small stuff like carbon fiber around the car, little stuff like that. I got the wrap coming. Should be next weekend's video, depending on how long it takes. I'm actually dropping it off in 2 days from now, 1 day from when you're seeing the video. So probably realistically 2 videos from now. Like next weekend, I'll probably have something with maybe driving this car around more, maybe going to get it aligned. And I want to get the grom out now that it's about like between 50 and 60 degrees. I can get the bike out. And then after that, we should be seeing the wrap unveiled on the Audi. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're not already. I mean, I'm trying to get to, I want to say 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I haven't really sat down with myself and set a real goal, but I think 1,000 would be nice, or anything around that range. So help me out, guys. Like, I'm really trying to get on a path here to where in a few years, maybe 7, 8 years, I can be completely on my own. And obviously it's going to take a lot to get there, and I'm prepared to do anything I can to do that. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Stay objective driven.